Hey there, everybody. Spencer Sen with Estate Plans Wisconsin. How is everybody today? I hope you're getting through all the COVID stuff and all the changes in the world and all the craziness in the world okay. We just got to keep improving and work together and find ways to do it, guys. Keep your heads up and keep pushing through. Just break it down to right and wrong. That's what I tell myself every day. So I wanted to share some more knowledge or facts today. I find it that people avoid these topics, the topic of death, planning for their family. So there's a few things that you want to make sure that you plan, and that's insurances. The necessary insurance you need as you grow older and things change, financial information, so a financial advisor, and then also estate settlement planning. Okay, how to settle your affairs and make it easier on your family, and make all your wishes be carried out immediately and your assets distributed properly and immediately. Okay, so I put together this little sheet, this reference sheet for people. I've had a lot of people contact me and say and thank me for it because it helps them visualize a little bit better and process the information. So let's talk about what happens if I die without a will or a plan. Okay, so believe it or not, the state has a plan for you. Okay, and their plan is called intestate. So dying without a will or a plan is called dying intestate, and it's really considered the most expensive way to die. And basically, the state decides everything. Okay, so in Wisconsin, if you die with a will or without a will, it's going to guarantee probate. All right. If you die without a will, it's going to be a very shortened version of probate. Okay. Unless you own more than $50,000 in assets. Okay. That's the threshold in Wisconsin. We're going to talk more about that in a second. So if you die without a plan and you have assets, the state's going to get paid. They love you. That's the best scenario for the state, the courts, and anybody involved that gets paid out of your assets to settle your affairs. So the state will settle everything for you, and they will take a handsome amount out of what you spent in your life working very hard to accumulate. Okay, so don't do this. I mean, they're gonna just take whatever they can as opposed to you transferring it to your family. When you die intestate, basically you're telling the courts, I didn't care, I didn't want to put my wishes down on paper, do whatever you want with it. Okay, don't do that. No matter if you're mad at your family or not, just don't do that. All right. So but the reason it's so important to talk about is on a daily basis, I learn more stories, or a weekly basis, I learn more stories of people that just didn't do anything. And it just saddens my heart because, I mean, it shouldn't be that way. This isn't that hard. People don't like to talk about death. They deny it's going to happen. They don't understand the impact that it's going to have on the family. All of these different reasons. Keep kicking it down the road. Stop doing that, guys. Get a plan in place. Okay, this is designed to help you be able to understand it so you can easily get something in place. And if you have questions and want to talk more and you want help with that, just contact me. I'll give you my information at the end here. Okay, make it very easy for you and your family. So let's move on. What happens if I die with a will in place? All right. So if you remember, I said with or without a will, it's going to guarantee probate. Okay. What is probate? Probate is the legal process that was designed specifically to prove a will and prove that the person that died is the actual person that died, and this is their actual will. They go through it. They make sure there isn't any discrepancies. If there's discrepancies, there's going to be more issues in time. And with or without a will, your assets are going to go through probate. Without a will, it goes through intestate. With a will, it goes through formal probate. All right. So if the threshold in Wisconsin And guys, all of this you can Google. You can Google it on your own and take the words right off the page here and put that in the search bar. Okay, all of this is factual information. And I push and try hard to educate as many people on a daily basis as this is possible, because I see so many families go through so much unintended effects and hassle and cost. So if you own less than $50,000 in assets, your wills go through simple probate. Okay, it's just pretty much in and out. Okay, if you own more than $50,000 in assets, you're going to go to more formal probate. Okay, and you can plan 6 months to your family, your surviving family, or the executor that you have appointed on your will. That's the person that you basically have sent to probate on your behalf. Okay, is going to be going through that process for 6 months to 2 years or longer, depending on the scenario, depending on if people contest the estate, family, cousins. I mean, everybody gets notified. The courts literally notify everybody in the bloodline. So if somebody wants an asset and they're persistent about it, they're going to file a claim. They just file a form and submit it to the court. Okay, now they're a part of the process. All right. So a will basically is a wish list. All right. And probate is the legal process designed to prove a will and prove that that person is dead. They then make it a public process where everybody knows about it. And they do that also to notify creditors, so they can put in claims, or anyone that thinks that the estate or the person that died owes them money, they can file a claim, and now they're part of the process, and the court will decide whether they get paid or not. Okay. There's a limited amount of time that they can publish that stuff, but everyone has access to know about it so they can submit their claims. So they do it to prove the will, prove the person died, make sure that the creditors and everybody knows all the assets. They publish the will and everything, all the affairs, so they can submit their bills to be paid out of the estate assets. Okay. And then whatever is left will get distributed to the surviving family, hopefully according to the will, but the court basically has full control to do whatever they want. All right. So the issues that come up by going to probate is the cost is going to go up. Okay. Compared to if a plan would have been in place prior. Okay. There's going to be a delay in distribution of wishes and assets. The national average actually is 18 months plus or minus a month. That's actually the national average. Everything is made public. All of your affairs, your assets, your will, everything is made public. It's the law. They have to. The executor of the will, again, that's the person the will appoints to represent them, has literally no control over any decisions once in probate, and it becomes a huge hassle and a struggle and for the surviving family to go through the process, and it often creates family discord. Okay, so you're going to have to do an accounting of all the financial records of all the assets. You're going to have to do appraisals to prove the values. You're going to have to report that to the court. All kinds of things happen. One of the big family discords that can come up, or does happen a lot, is people in the family may want their assets. The executor is saying, hey, I'm in this process. I don't have any choice or control, and it's a big delay in a process. And some family members may not believe that and say, you're just trying to keep the assets away from us and blah, blah, blah. And it really creates a big hassle and a big problem in families. It happens all the time. When there's assets at hand and money at hand, people change. It's just the way things are. So what happens if I die without a will? I mean, with a will in place, you go through this stuff. Your surviving family goes through that, all of it. Okay. And not only that, before the remainder is distributed to the surviving family of the assets, the courts and the state and the attorneys take a big chunk out of that you could have avoided. Okay, it would have cost so much less. Okay, is that what you want for your surviving family? Okay, do you know when you're going to die? No, you don't. Okay, so one of the things I do is push to get people to recognize this stuff. You could die tomorrow if you don't have something in place. What's going to happen? Your surviving family is going to go through intestate. Okay, if you die with a will in place, it guarantees probate. Okay, all the costs, the delay, the public, the control, the hassle, the family discord, all of it's going to happen. Okay, it's just a matter of how long is it going to take and what's going to be left and what is it going to cost out of the assets. So this is important stuff, guys. I mean, you've got to look in the mirror and take it seriously. It's our responsibility to protect our families. And why wouldn't you protect the assets that you've worked your butt off for your whole life to build up? Okay? Just doesn't make sense. Every day I run across this. It just gets me worked up. But that's why I educate. Okay, so what happens if I have a properly drafted trust in place? There's a number of different type of trusts. So if you need help determining what is the best for you, make sure that you talk to me. Okay, again, I'll give you my information at the end. But I want you to understand something. There's a very well-known secret out there that so many attorneys pull this BS. Okay, you need to understand the fact, let's back up a second, that a will guarantees probate. Drives me nuts that attorneys do this, but let's say you and your wife or you and your partner you finally get to the attorney's office. Some guy in town, okay, says he's an estate planning attorney. This happens all the time, guys, okay, literally all the time. Go in, yep, we've been thinking about this, we need to get it done. Great, it'll either be, $250 for a single or $800 for a couple. And they go and draft the will, provide the will to them, and they never tell you. They won't tell you that this guarantees probate. Why? Why would they not tell? Wouldn't you think an attorney's responsibility is to tell you that a will is going to guarantee probate and it's going to cause all of these other things? Well, let's think about this. So what normally and typically happens is somebody goes in and gets a will. They take the will home, they put it in the drawer, and they're like, oh, they have a peace of mind. They think they have peace of mind. Okay? It's going to be easier on their family. Their assets and wishes are going to be taken care of. No. As you just learned, that's not the case. So both parents are now gone. The will is there in the house. They come and find it, and the children go, okay, now what? Okay, they're not experienced. They don't have any knowledge or guidance with this. Everybody has to figure it out on their own unless you do your research, okay, and find somebody like myself that's willing to teach you. So you have what you want in place. Okay, anyhow, so then they go, oh, the attorney's name, phone number, great, let's call the attorney. This is perfect. Thinking they're going to save time and money and frustration. The attorney did their will. They call the attorney and the attorney says, yeah, I'll help you file the petition to start probate. And they're like, well, what is probate? Well, that's the legal process that proves the will and that people have to go through. And guess what? I'm going to need a $3,000 to $5,000 retainer, okay, to represent your family in probate, okay, and there's going to be anywhere from a 1 to 2 to 3 to 4% charge on top of that from the entire state. So you can figure it out, guys. If the estate is $300,000, that's 1% is what? 2% is what? You can figure it out, simple math. But these are the reasons attorneys don't share it, and it's been accepted forever, and I am coming after attorneys today. Any of them that do that, to try to prevent them from just doing these documents to make money, okay, and not educating people. It's a well-known fact, guys. Unbelievable. One of the driving forces in my everyday. Okay, so anyhow, let's talk about trusts. I can go on and on about this stuff. And you want to talk more about it, contact me. What happens if I have a properly drafted trust in place? So I get a little worked up. Well, first of all, hallelujah, it completely avoids probate. You don't go to probate. Okay, so you literally eliminate that whole middle section of what I have written out there. What happens if I die with a will in place? You eliminate all of it. Okay, why? I mean, it's a no-brainer to me. All right, but the thing that's not a no-brainer to me, or that I don't understand, is why people wait way too long to have anything in place, because we don't know when we're gonna die. I could walk out of my house today and get hit by and get in my car and get hit and be killed. Okay, it's our responsibility, guys, to take care of our families and make sure that everything is as easy as possible on them when we pass. All right, it's gonna happen. Stop kicking the can down the road. Anyhow, it completely avoids probate. It's way less cost than what's going to happen in probate. Okay? I don't care what any attorney says. Their motivations are money. Okay? The majority. There are good ones. Make sure I'm very clear about that. There are attorneys that do this for good reasons, but even the American Bar Association says the majority of estate planning attorneys in the country are not qualified to do this. So why are they doing it? Money. Okay? Plain and simple. All right. So so you prevent the courts and attorneys from getting paid out of your assets. That's another hallelujah. There's no delay in distribution of assets or wishes. It's immediate. You retain 100% control of all decisions about you, all decisions about your assets. You control everything. And in that trust, your wishes are held and instructions are held that say, when I am incapacitated, or if I become incapacitated, I want X to make all the decisions for me and my assets. Okay, that can be one or more people. They're called a trustee. Okay. And then they handle all the assets once you pass. They sell it, they rent it, they live in it, they distribute the assets and your wishes to the other family members. Okay, so there's no delay in distribution of assets. You remain 100% in control, whether you're incapacitated or if you die, and then it passes to the person you appoint. Okay, your estate and your affairs are all privatized. Nobody knows about them. The state, the courts, your neighbor, the public, nobody knows about it at all. Okay, another huge advantage, because what can happen and does happen, there'll be salespeople, there'll be suitors, there'll be dishonest contractors, there'll be all kind of people that see probate, probate, probate. And they're becoming more and more creative every day to find ways to get paid out of the assets. Okay? Unbelievable, but it's true. It completely eliminates the hassle and the possible family discord. There can be some disagreements, but it eliminates all that fighting. It's like it eliminates if you have a pool full of sharks and you drop the blood in there, what happens? Okay, so you can have a pool full of sharks, but if there's no blood, well, they just go on about their day. Okay, so the biggest thing, I mean, those are some pretty big things. The biggest thing is it leaves a lasting, a good memory or it avoids a nasty memory and process and crap that the family would have to go through if you don't have a trust in place. Okay, so it makes it as easy as possible on your surviving family and the trustee. I mean, isn't that what you want? Don't you want your hard-earned assets to be distributed to the people you want and not pay the state, the courts, the attorneys? Don't let everybody know about your affairs and assets and your wishes. Don't you want it to be as simple as possible on your surviving family? Most people, I would think, or I believe, would say that's a no-brainer. Okay. But you would be surprised. Okay. So out of these three, which one would you pick for your family? Okay. Get it done. Push through it. You have questions, contact me. I give my phone number to everybody. Again, it's Spencer with Estate Plans Wisconsin. My website is www.estateplanswi.com. My phone number is 414-215-9888. My email is estateplanningwi@gmail.com. Okay. I can help you understand all your options. I can make it very easy for you. I can help you find the peace of mind that you want. And it's my mission. I am definitely on a mission to help as many people as possible learn this stuff, because our families, I mean, if you're like most people, your family is the most important thing to you. Next to that would be your assets. Okay? So let's get you straightened out, push through this. I'll help you push through it together. Be educated. God bless, and I'll talk to you soon.